I think Francis Ngannou massively changed everything about crossover boxing, MMA fighters coming over to boxing. Ngannou really changed it all. And even though he got knocked out by Anthony Joshua in in his second fight badly in 2 rounds, I really feel like it's giving guys a false hope, and I think that's what's happened with Rico coming into this fight with Alexander Usyk this weekend. Look, I really do think it's false hope. I really do. It changed everything, really, to be honest, and it's helped guys like Rico be able to get an opportunity like this against Alexander Usyk. It's also, I think, made Alexander Usyk want to accept this kind of challenge as well, because I mean, he wants to show himself, oh, yeah, now this guy from kickboxing can't come over and do what Ngannou was able to do against Tyson Fury. And then, yeah, I think it's given a false hope to a lot of people, and I think it's given a lot of false hope to pure MMA fans. I think it's given false hope to pure kickboxing fans, for Rico going into the Usyk fight. And it changed everything. It really did, because people are now thinking there is actually a chance that he can beat Alexander Usyk. There are people out there who do believe so. And there are talking points about it by saying, Rico's combat sport background in kickboxing can really make things awkward here, just like Ngannou Star was able to do against Tyson Fury. But in my opinion, it's different. In my opinion, this is different. I think Ngannou would smoke Rico in a pure boxing fight. That's my opinion. I might be very wrong on that, but I really do think Ngannou would destroy Rico in a pure boxing fight. I think with Ngannou, he had strengths going into that Tyson Fury fight that Rico doesn't have going into this Usyk fight. With going into that Fury fight, I think Ngannou arguably, he hit harder than Tyson Fury. He had the power advantage going into that fight. And it's like, all round skill we never had over Fury, but he has more things than what Rico had. I think in the clinches and up close, Ngannou is much stronger than what Rico is. That MMA background in general that Francis Ngannou has, it helped him up close in those clinches. It helped him be able to be a lot stronger than Fury, kind of bully him a bit at times up close. That's what helped Ngannou, and I do not think that Rico has that advantage going into a fight with Alexander Usyk. I don't think Rico's going to be able to bully him like Ngannou was able to bully Tyson Fury. And I think, that is a big thing. And I do not think that Rico has the same things, the same attributes, the same advantages as what Francis Ngannou, has over Rico while he was going into boxing. I think it's very different. And I think with Ngannou as well, you know, he's not known for massive, big head kick KOs. Ngannou's always been known for, landing some proper big explosive shots. And yes, in MMA, a pretty wild guy, but they fixed him up a lot getting ready going into the Tyson Fury fight. And I think just his general explosiveness being a bit tidier, I think I think it helped him, because Ngannou, a big thing with Ngannou as well, he doesn't have an all-out square-on style which Rico has, and that, I mean, that is, what it is for kickboxing. You're going to be square-on because you need to defend kicks, but again, I think overall for just pure boxing, I think Francis Ngannou and his style is able to was I reckon, in my opinion, able to adjust better going into a boxing fight than what Rico Verhoeven is. I might be very wrong. I might be very wrong, but I don't think I am. And I think the big thing is while it's opponents, Usyk's one of the most disciplined guys you're ever gonna see. Tyson Fury, let's be real, everyone sees it. He has discipline problems. Even though, let's be real, second best heavyweight in the world, definitely. Or third, other than Dubois, I don't know. But top three heavyweight in the world right now. But it doesn't change the fact that he's had discipline issues, and it showed in that Francis Ngannou fight. Rico isn't going to have that same kind of success against Alexander Usyk. Or going into a fight with Alexander Usyk is very different to going into a fight with Tyson Fury. It's very different. Usyk, his style is based on beating guys bigger than him every single time. And Rico was saying in the build-up how he thinks his size would be too much for Usyk, but Usyk's built a career off of beating guys who are massive compared to him. Usyk's not going in there to look to knock you out. He's looking to go in there, mentally break you down, outbox you, and put a beating on you. Really break you down gradually in there. That's what Usyk's always looked to do, and that's what he's going to be able to do to Rico. You're not going to be able to outsmart Usyk. You're not going to be able. I mean, even if Rico is stronger than Usyk, you're not going to be able to get that close to him. Look, people were saying about Fury, about AJ, about Dubois. Oh yeah, that they need to go in there. They need to bully him. None of them were able to go in there and do that against him. Look at what Ngannou was able to do against Fury. He was bullying him all night up close, and that's how he got his success. You're not going to be able to do that against Usyk, and that is why I think that Ngannou and Fury fight is giving guys like Rico a very false hope going into boxing, and that's a big thing. That is a very big thing in my opinion. Um, but look, I think can Rico have the same make the same fear factor that Ngannou was able to bring? Because I think let's be real here, Rico's not a known massive puncher. He's not. He's not. Ngannou was always known with that terrifying knockout aura that he always had around him. Rico, I do not think has that around him. Yes, he's the kickboxing goat, but he does not have that, massive knockout one punch that I think can change a fight. And Ngannou, because of how unpredictable always was, he always had an unpredictability to him. I don't think Rico has that going to this Usyk fight. I think he's way too stiff, way too readable for him, and that's really going to cost him. And people saying, "Oh, what if Rico can make it awkward because of another combat sport background?" But it's like you can't make it awkward against Usyk. You can try with that with any other heavyweight. You can't do that against Alexander Usyk. You can't make it awkward against him. People can say that about other heavyweights. You're still not going to be able to do it. I mean, there's more of a chance about saying that than going to a bloody Usyk fight. That's the thing. But I think that Francis Ngannou really built up a false hope for Rico going into this fight.